Our research is driven by a growing concern, thermal comfort in schools. As climate change intensifies, maintaining comfortable classroom temperatures becomes increasingly challenging. This directly impacts in student well-being and learning outcomes.
This study aims to evaluate a simple and sustainable biomimicry-inspired cooling system for schools. Specifically, we want to answer these questions.
Number 1. Is there a significant difference between the Tetra Pak sunshade, commercial mesh, and the unmanipulated room in terms of its effectiveness in reducing temperature? Number 2. Is there a significant difference between the Tetra Pak sunshade, commercial mesh, and the unmanipulated room in terms of students' thermal comfort satisfaction? And number 3. Is there a significant difference in the promotability and effectivity of the Tetra Pak sunshade as perceived by the students?
For the research ethics, this research prioritized safety, ethical conduct, and open communication throughout the study, ensuring trustworthy and impactful results.
Moving on to research design, we employed a completely randomized design for this quantitative study. CRD as defined by Criswell on 2014, randomly assigned treatments to experimental units, ensuring each unit has an equal chance of being in any treatment group. For this experiment, 3 classrooms were chosen and randomly assigned to either 1. The experimental group, which is Tetra Pak sunshade, 2. The control group with no intervention, and 3. A group with a mesh-filled existing solution.
Here's what we used to create and conduct the experiment. These are the materials used for window. 76 recycled Tetra Paks, 150 cm by 250 cm recycled tarpaulin, scrapped aluminum jalousie frames, 4 bottles of adhesive, and nylon ropes.
The researchers also used metalworking tools such as C-clamp, drill, wooden mallet, hammer, riveter, and metal saw. Also, monitoring tools such as mobile phone for setting timers and recording data, and thermometers for getting the temperature.
For the data gathering procedure, the research was conducted at GBDIS in the senior high school building second floor classroom over a designated period. The data gathering procedure involved these steps.
First, we thoroughly wash and dried the Tetra Paks to remove any residue.
Then, we cut them open and carefully arranged them on a recycled tarpaulin, leaving a flap for attaching it later.
We have used scrap metals to build a frame that perfectly fits for the classroom window.
We secured the tarpaulin with the Tetra Paks onto the frame. Finally, we placed the thermometers in 3 classrooms, one with our Tetra Pak sunshade, one with the mesh shade, and one without any shade.
We worked together to record the initial temperatures and monitored them throughout the study. We also surveyed students to gauge their satisfaction with the Tetra Pak sunshade. The Kruskal-Wallis test, a non-parametric analysis, lets us compare cooling effects in sunshade, mesh, and regular classrooms without assuming temperatures are normally distributed.
For the results of our study, our goal was to assess the effectiveness of the Tetra Pak sunshade in reducing classroom temperature and improving student comfort. The experiment showed the Tetra Pak sunshade's promise in achieving cooler classrooms. Compared to the empty room and the mesh shade,
The sunshade classroom had the lowest average temperature of 27.33 degrees Celsius.
statistical analysis confirmed a significant temperature difference between the groups with a p-value of less than 0.05. This improvement in temperature translated to a more comfortable learning environment for students. Students in the sunshade classrooms reported feeling significantly more comfortable with a mean score of 4.03 than those in the empty room with a mean score of 6.55 or the mesh shade with a mean score of 6.16. Additionally, most students agreed that the sunshade was worth recommending to other classrooms with a mean score of 1.74 and improved the learning environment with a mean score of 1.90. This suggests that the sunshade not only lowered temperature but also minimized students' discomfort.
Based on the findings of the study, we conclude the following.
Number 1. The reflective canopy cooling model is effective in lowering classroom temperatures. This indicates its potential to mitigate the challenges posed by high heat indexes. Number 2. The reflective canopy cooling model not only reduced temperatures but also minimized student discomfort. This improved comfort level likely contributes to enhanced student focus during lessons. And lastly, this study suggests that the reflective canopy cooling model is recommendable and is effective based on the student's overall experience with the model.
Based on our findings, we recommend the following. Number 1. Schools in hot climates, especially classrooms with direct sunlight, should consider adopting Tetra Pak sunshades. Number 2. Future studies can assess if Tetra Pak sunshades improve academic performance in warm classrooms. Number 3. We advocate for the development and implementation of biomimicry-based cooling solutions in schools. Integrating the systems into educational programs foster environmental awareness and problem-solving skills in students. Furthermore, a successful application in school can serve as a model for wider adoption in public spaces like stalls in other buildings.
Thank you, learners, for this sunshade. Malaki ang naitulong nito sa pagkatuto ng mga mag-aral dahil sa halip na maglabas sila ng kung ano-anong bagay bilang pananggalan sa sinag ng araw at init nito, sila ay nakaupo ng maayos at handang makinig sa mga paksang tinatalakay. I recommend the sunshade model to others because it's really effective at nakatulong pa sila sa kalikasan dahil gumamit sila ng Tetra Pak at used thoughtfully.
The sunshade did create a more comfortable learning environment, especially for us students whose study period in this classroom is between 2 to 3, wherein it is very hot, and as students are more likely to be sleepy, and that could be very off-putting. And based on my experience, the sunshade did lessen the heat temperature, and as you can see, it blocked the sunlight, and so I would highly recommend this sunshade for other classrooms. Thank you.
The sunshade did create a more comfortable learning environment, for it lessened the heat we experience every time we attend our class in this room. So, as a student who experienced firsthand its effectivity, I do recommend this sunshade to be installed in every classroom.